Everyone wants success, but not everyone wants the discipline it requires. Everyone talks about being strong, but very few are willing to control themselves when it matters most. Discipline is not something you do once, it's something you live by every day. It's the rule that separates those who dream from those who achieve. You cannot build greatness on excuses, comfort, or emotion. You build it through routine, through struggle, through doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the foundation of every victory. Without it, talent means nothing. Talent may open the door, but only discipline allows you to walk through it and stay there. The world is full of people with potential, people with gifts, people who could have been great, but they lack the one thing that separates champions from the rest: discipline. Talent can make you fast, but discipline keeps you consistent. Talent can give you attention, but discipline earns you respect. No matter how skilled or intelligent a person is, if they cannot control their habits, their time, and their focus, that talent eventually fades away. Discipline is what gives talent purpose. It shapes it, strengthens it, and directs it towards something meaningful. Every victory, whether in sport, business, or life, begins long before the moment of success. It begins in silence, in the daily routines that no one sees, in the effort that never gets applause. Discipline is what keeps you training when your body is tired, studying when your mind is restless, and working when everyone else is sleeping. It doesn't care about how you feel, it cares about what must be done. A disciplined person doesn't rely on motivation because they know motivation is temporary. Motivation fades when life gets hard, but discipline stays because it's built on commitment, not emotion. There will always be people more talented than you, but discipline can make you more dangerous than them. Talent might win a round, but discipline wins the fight. It is what makes you show up every single day with the same hunger, the same focus, the same respect for the process. Discipline teaches you to fall in love with repetition, to understand that greatness is not about one big act, but thousands of small ones done consistently. Every champion, every leader, every legend you've ever admired was built on the same truth: that discipline is greater than talent, luck, or circumstance. Discipline also builds mental strength. It teaches you how to control yourself when things don't go your way, how to stay calm when emotions rise, and how to stay grounded when success tries to make you arrogant. It gives you power over your own mind. When you live with discipline, you stop reacting to life and start directing it. You become dependable, not just to others but to yourself. You trust your own word because you know you'll do what you say. That kind of self-trust is rare, and it only comes from discipline. People often look for shortcuts, hoping to achieve big things with little effort. But there are no shortcuts to greatness. The path is long, the process is hard, and that's what makes it real. Discipline is the bridge that connects dreams to reality. It doesn't promise ease, but it guarantees results. When talent meets discipline, it becomes unstoppable. When talent exists without discipline, it becomes wasted potential. Discipline doesn't just make you better at what you do, it makes you better at who you are. It teaches patience, responsibility, and respect for time, the three pillars of success that no amount of talent can replace. Control your emotions before they control your actions. In life, every person faces moments where emotions rise: anger, frustration, pride, fear, or excitement. These emotions are natural, but if you let them take charge, they can destroy years of discipline, respect, and progress in seconds. Real strength is not in reacting quickly but in responding wisely. A calm mind can see clearly, but an emotional one blinds itself. The ability to control your emotions is one of the most powerful skills a person can master. It's what separates those who are led by impulse from those who are guided by purpose. When emotions take control, logic disappears. You start saying things you don't mean, doing things you later regret, and making choices that move you away from your goals. Every person who loses control gives power to weakness. But when you learn to pause, breathe, and stay composed, you take that power back. Control doesn't mean you suppress emotion, it means you master it. You understand what you feel, but you don't let it decide your next move. You act from principle, not from mood. This mindset is what defines champions. They don't let temporary feelings ruin long-term missions. In moments of pressure, many people break not because they are weak, but because they never train their emotions. They train their bodies, their skills, their minds. but not their reactions. Controlling emotions is training of the spirit. It demands awareness and humility. You have to know your triggers, your weaknesses, and the moments when pride tries to speak louder than wisdom. It takes strength to stay silent when you want to argue, to walk away when your ego wants to fight, and to forgive when your heart wants revenge. That strength is the mark of discipline. When you control your emotions, you protect your energy and your purpose. You don't get distracted by every insult, every challenge, or every disappointment. You understand that life will test you, people will provoke you, and situations will frustrate you, but your reaction is your choice. The person who can stay calm under fire earns respect, not only from others but from himself. That calmness becomes a weapon. It gives you clarity in chaos and power in restraint. The ones who master emotional control live differently. They are not slaves to their moods or circumstances. Whether in victory or defeat, they remain centered. They don't celebrate too wildly when they win, and they don't break when they lose. They move forward with the same focus and humility, understanding that emotions are temporary, but consequences last. This is how real warriors think. They fight their emotions before they fight the world. Every great decision, every meaningful success comes from a stable mind. The louder the world gets, the quieter your mind must become. Emotional control gives you balance in a world full of chaos. It helps you see truth when everyone else is blinded by anger or fear. When you own your emotions, you own your actions, your outcomes, and your life. Success is not built in comfort. It is built through sacrifice and consistency. Comfort is the enemy of growth because it makes you soft, it makes you settle, and it slowly kills your hunger. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has walked through discomfort. Through pain, through exhaustion, through failure, and through moments of doubt. Growth doesn't happen when everything feels easy, it happens when you keep going even when nothing feels easy at all. Sacrifice is the price you pay for progress. You give up sleep, distractions, laziness, and sometimes even temporary happiness for something greater, your purpose. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is that achievers are willing to suffer for their goals. Comfort makes you think you have time. It makes you delay action, telling you to rest when you should move. But success doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It rewards those who act with discipline when comfort tempts them to stop. Every small sacrifice adds up. Every early morning, every hour of practice, every decision to stay focused when your mind wants to quit. These sacrifices may seem invisible at first, but over time they build something powerful. The stronger your discipline, the more comfortable you become with discomfort. What once felt hard becomes your new normal, and that's when true transformation begins. Consistency is what turns sacrifice into success. Anyone can work hard for a day or a week, but very few can stay consistent for years. Consistency means showing up even when motivation is gone, even when results don't show yet. It's about trusting the process when progress feels invisible. Success is not one big step, it's thousands of small steps repeated with patience and focus. Every day you stay consistent, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than excuses. And that belief, that quiet confidence, is what keeps you going when others give up. The path of consistency is not glamorous. It's repetitive, it's lonely, and it tests your limits. But it's also where champions are made. You can't rush mastery, and you can't cheat effort. You earn success slowly through time and repetition. When you're consistent, you build habits that take over when your emotions fail you. You no longer need to convince yourself to work hard. It becomes your nature. Sacrifice shapes your character, and consistency strengthens your identity. Those who chase comfort will always stop when life gets hard. But those who embrace discomfort will keep growing. Every challenge becomes an opportunity to improve. Every failure becomes a lesson, and every sacrifice becomes an investment in your future. The journey is not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be worth it. Success belongs to those who stay consistent through pain, who choose progress over comfort, and who understand that discipline is the real luxury. Comfort is temporary, but the satisfaction of earning something through sacrifice lasts forever. True champions live by principles, not moods. Most people live according to how they feel. If they're happy, they work hard. If they're tired, they stop. If they're motivated, they move forward. And if they're discouraged, they give up. But those who achieve greatness don't depend on feelings. They depend on values. Principles don't change with emotion, and that's what makes them powerful. A disciplined life is not controlled by moods. It's guided by rules that never break no matter the situation. When you live by principle, you become stable, reliable, and focused, even when everything around you is unpredictable. Moods are temporary, they rise and fall like waves, but principles are steady like the ocean itself. A person who acts based on feelings will always live a life of inconsistency. One day they work hard and the next they quit. One day they are humble and the next they are arrogant. This kind of person never builds momentum because they are always resetting their path. A true champion doesn't allow emotions to decide what's right. He already knows what must be done, and he does it regardless of how he feels. That's what separates professionals from amateurs. Consistency of principle over comfort of mood. Principles give you direction when motivation disappears. They are your code, your law, your internal guide. When you live by principles, you no longer need to think about what to do every day. You already know. You train, you work, you pray, you stay disciplined, because that's your rule. Feelings may try to pull you away, but principles pull you back in line. They keep you calm under pressure and strong in temptation. They help you make decisions that you'll be proud of later, not decisions you'll regret once your mood changes. Living by principles also earns respect. People can trust someone who stands by their word, who does what they say, and who doesn't change depending on who's watching. The world respects consistency because it's rare. Principles also protect you from pride. They remind you that even in success, humility and gratitude come first. They keep your ego in check and your purpose clear. Without principles, success can make you lose control. With principles, success becomes a tool for good, not destruction. When you live by moods, you live for comfort. When you live by principles, you live for purpose. Every champion, every strong leader builds his life on unbreakable rules. To work hard even when tired, to stay humble even when praised, to remain calm even when tested, to respect others even when disrespected. These are not moods, they are choices made again and again until they become identity. Life will test your patience, your focus, and your emotions. But principles keep you rooted through every test. They don't change with weather or circumstance. They remind you who you are when you start to forget. A man who lives by principles cannot be easily broken, because his strength doesn't come from how he feels. It comes from what he believes. You know, people often ask me what keeps me grounded, what keeps me calm when everything around me is loud. The lights, the fame, the noise, the money. For me, the answer has always been one word: humility. I have always believed that when you stay humble, you stay strong. Pride makes you weak because it blinds you. Humility keeps you aware, keeps you learning, keeps you disciplined. When you start thinking you are bigger than others, you stop growing. And the moment you stop growing, you start falling. That's why I always try to keep my heart clean, not to let pride enter. Because once you allow ego to control you, you lose your focus, your peace, and your respect. When I became champion, nothing really changed inside me. I was the same person who trained in the mountains of Dagestan, who followed his father's words, who respected every opponent that stood in front of me. When I won, I didn't dance or mock anyone, because I know what it takes to stand in that cage. I know the pain, the sweat, the sacrifice. So even when I beat someone, I respect them. That's what real men do. Humility doesn't mean you are soft, it means you are in control. It means you have the power to dominate, but also the wisdom to stay quiet when you could brag. I've always said this: I am not special because I am undefeated. I am who I am because of my father, my team, my faith, and my people. Without them, I am nothing. My father used to tell me, if you become a champion but lose your character, you lose everything. That's something I never forgot. I tried to live by that every day, to stay respectful, to stay disciplined, to never let success change who I am inside. People see the belt, the records, the fame. But for me, all of that is temporary. What stays forever is your behavior, your character, how you treat others when you have power. Humility is no weakness. It's strength under control. When you're humble, you're free from fear, free from comparison, free from the need to prove something. That's real confidence. I always believe that if you want to stay undefeated in life, not just in the cage, you must defeat your ego first. So, no matter how high you rise, never forget who you are. where you came from, and the people who